Have you ever wondered if guys actually realize that you are a real human being? The way they act sometimes, especially on dating apps, it's like they think they're interacting with a chatbot. And they say these really rude things as if they don't actually get that there's someone with actual human feelings on the other end reading their words. It feels like there's not a whole lot of humanity going on. Now, part of the reason is technology, and the other part is this consumer mindset we've got now. We're so used to going online now and buying groceries or clothes that buying a date doesn't seem all that different. Like, you look at the pictures and you compare the descriptions and you click on the one you choose and you let him know he's been selected. There's only one problem, right? Human beings aren't products. And dating is not technically shopping for a person. But our consumer mindset is so strong that it's hard to break free from that mentality, especially when dating apps make people look so much like products, right down to the marketing. That consumer mentality may be one reason why Americans tend to switch relationships so often. We don't need to commit to anyone. And so unless we find the absolute perfect person, we won't commit. We'll keep clicking away and test driving all sorts of different relationships until we find the perfect one. Now, I don't think any of that is going to change anytime soon. And so the question becomes, how do we personally navigate this new dating world? Are we going to buy into the system that tells us that people are products? And if we want the best, we've got to be the best? Or are we going to stop a moment and ask ourselves what we are even doing here? Hi, I'm Amy Waterman. I am a love expert here at yourbrilliance.com. And in this video, I want to share with you a mental switch that will bring the love back to dating and attract for you the love you're looking for. Most of us play the dating game for one reason, right? Love. Love is everything. It's how we want to live our lives. But then we get confused by everyone telling us how to get a guy when it's not so much a guy we want, but the experience of loving another for a lifetime. Now, dating experts can tell you how to hook someone. They can tell you how to make a man obsessed. But notice that they don't promise you love, because they can't promise you love, because not all men are lovers in the spiritual sense of the word. They want the good feelings, but they don't want to extend themselves to support and nurture the growth of another human being. They just want to see what they can get. They want to see how much bang they can buy for their buck. That consumer mentality is a huge red flag. But unfortunately, the way we date feeds it. If you're offering him something in hopes of getting love in return, then you're putting yourself squarely in that marketplace thinking. And there's a way out, but it requires of us a bit of humility. I think the reason we're here on this planet is to learn about love. We are here as students of love. So we are given this life as an opportunity to explore love for self, love for others, love for the divine, love for life itself. And human relationships are one of the great playing fields of love, because it's in our relationships with others that we practice all the essential components of love, like respect and commitment and responsibility and honesty and care and so forth. When you see yourself as a student of love, you're not goal-oriented as much as process-oriented. So you're not looking for the perfect person. You're looking for opportunities to practice love. And that can include friendships, partnerships, all sorts of relationships that help you expand yourself. Now, of course, you want that glorious, lasting love relationship, because marriage is still the greatest challenge of the heart. But to get to the point where you stand a chance at making a lifelong relationship work, you're going to need practice. Practice with boundaries, practice with speaking your truth, practice with mutuality, all that good stuff. And to do that, you need a practice partner. And that is what dating is for. Dating gives you the chance to practice with all kinds of partners. You can practice being authentic. You can practice saying no. You can practice receiving and respecting and negotiating and letting go. And some practice partners are better than others. With some partners, you can feel yourself stretching and growing and learning and coming to understand love in a whole new way. And with other partners, you can have fun practicing, but you don't really get anywhere. You end up stuck doing the same things over and over again. So your love capacity doesn't grow. Your goal is to find a really good partner to really push what you're both capable of. So what does it take to love another human being? And how can you practice that love in everything you do? Can you feel it expanding you? Is he in this with you as an equal partner? Does love excite him as much as it excites you? And sometimes your practice with one partner will end up running its course. You'll have reached the limits of what you can learn together and you'll go find someone else. Now, that doesn't mean that what you experienced together wasn't love. It just means that your love reached its limits and you needed to go elsewhere if you're going to grow. So how do you find these love practice partners? Well, you show up as you are and you get curious about who other people are and you keep your heart open to exploring a connection. You're not buying anything. You're not selling anything. You are just showing up with tenderness, humanity, and curiosity. Even if online dating apps try to force you back into that consumer mentality, judging these guys' merits based on their match percentages and their photos, recognize how superficial that stuff is. You're not picking the perfect option from this menu of potential partners online. You're not looking to spot your future husband. You are looking for good guys who are able and willing to do the work of love with you. And you can only find out if a guy would be a good partner by meeting with him in person and seeing what he's about. Love practice partners may be harder to find, but they are out there. Watch how he treats you. Watch how he treats others. Listen between the lines for the values he lives by. A guy who practices love will be genuinely interested in getting to know you. He won't be jumping to any conclusions about who you are or whether you'd be good together, and he'll be okay if you say no. For me, this is how we solve the crazy mess that modern dating has become. We've got to bring love back into it. We've got to stop trying to get our dream partner and instead focus on our own personal growth and self-expansion. Because none of us are perfect at loving. We all have triggers and wounds and blocks. Many of us still abandon ourselves the instant we fall in love with someone else. So we've got a lot to learn. So find out what you need to do to love better. Where are you still operating from limiting beliefs? Where are you slamming doors? What kinds of love do you already have in your life that you're not valuing? What are you doing to nourish your love for everyone from your companion animals to your reflection in the mirror? And I'll end with a little secret. Women who love well are like the smell of grass on a sunny day. They are like a long, cold drink of ice water in the heat. They are like a hug that wraps you up and keeps you safe and accepts all of you and never lets you go. The world is thirsting for our love. But all too often we think about love in terms of getting some for us. We don't realize that the love we express and embody is a powerful force for hope and goodness in the world. I hope you discover the many opportunities around you right now in your life to practice love today. Because the more you love, the more love shows up. And that's a promise. Take really, really good care of yourself, and I will see you next time.